Hi everyone, it's Dr. Ramani and welcome back to this YouTube channel on narcissism. Here's another question for all of you to ponder. Do they like it when we walk on eggshells? Weigh in on that. Do you think a narcissistic person likes it when we walk on eggshells, or is it annoying for them? So let's see what you think, because I got my answer. Before I give you that answer, just a gentle reminder, those of you who want to do the deeper dive into narcissistic healing, got our monthly healing program, more and more people joining, benefiting. Please join us. Hit that link in the video notes and you'll see you can really join and do more than you can do here on YouTube. So, question, do they like it when we walk on eggshells? Yep, they do. So, let's go to the original question. I'm sorry, earlier question then, is why do we walk on eggshells around the narcissistic and toxic people in our lives? You drop those reasons in there too. But the classical, standard ones are to avoid their rage, to appease them, to avoid feeling guilty, and to avoid their projections and their shaming. And that makes sense to me. It makes sense to any of us. Who really wants to sign up for someone to yell at them and rage at them and leave you feeling miserable? Most people are conflict averse and will do what is needed to avoid conflict. We don't want to feel bad, so we become more and more careful around these people who we're concerned that that's what's going to happen. So what is it about narcissistic people that makes it necessary for us to walk on eggshells? Things like their rejection sensitivity, their unprocessed shame, their fear of vulnerability, their delusional grandiosity, and their obsessive need to always be right, their incapability of being accountable about their faults, their short fuses. So we watch what we say, we watch what we do things the way they want them, we avoid sharing our problems, we make sure we check on what kind of day they're having before we share about our day. We study their expressions and their faces. We take the temperature of the room. We avoid sharing our needs, our wants. We learn to eat when they want, eat what they want, sleep when they want, watch what they want. We give up on ourselves. We over-monitor ourselves. And we take great pains to do things just the way they want them. We keep kids quiet. We keep pets quiet. And your kids learn to walk on eggshells too. Everyone does. If you do this at work, it means avoiding telling them bad news, doing things in the messed up, inefficient way that they want, even if it's more expensive and a big waste of time. But the question I started this video with was, do they like it when you walk on eggshells, or any of us walk on eggshells? And yes. The narcissistic folks aren't dumb. In fact, they're quite clever, right? Smart. They notice stuff, and they notice that people are being careful around them, or that they're getting and that the narcissist knows they're getting their way, and the reason they like it is because it means they're in control. They have the power. Sometimes they may even brag about it. It can be performative, and they want people to see, I run my family with an iron fist. Look at everyone around here. They're scared of me. It's a source of pride that everyone is being so careful around them. Because the narcissistic folks have little empathy, they do not care that they are causing tension or discomfort for other people. They just like that everyone has fallen into line. So when you walk on eggshells, it's almost like a manifestation of their power. They even love the idea that they say boo and then people jump. It's the ultimate demonstration of their control. And obviously this is on a continuum. In the case of more severe narcissistic abuse with a more malignant narcissist, they may be keeping that control, and the eggshells are proliferated through the threat of or actual violence. In other cases of narcissism, our fear of shame or our belief that we only exist if we are doing what they want or are pleasing them, it's enough to keep us on those eggshells. In a way, the walking on eggshells is a reminder that if you are in a narcissistic relationship, that you are, for all intents and purposes, a hostage to them psychologically, that you basically live in psychological servitude to them. The eggshell walking is a reminder of that almost continuity between them and you, that poor boundary, where it's like one of those parasite alien movies where they have fully infiltrated your psyche and sucked it out and stuck pleasing them, right? I've been in enough eggshell walking relationships myself that I remember often wondering, doesn't this person feel bad for how wrecked I am? How much I'm exhausting myself? How sensitive they are? And then I saw, not only don't they kind of get off on the power trip that we are all their prisoners. They love that people would jump up when they entered a room. It was sort of a low-grade sadism, and frankly, it was disgusting. Obviously, in some situations, it can be unsafe to do something about it. Violent situations or coercively controlled relationships. But in others, you have to ask yourself, so what if they get angry? You do you. And if the socks are still on the floor, or the music is a little too loud, or you drop the keys, so what? They'll criticize you and berate you. Ah, you're so clumsy, you're so stupid. They're going to do it anyhow, right? If you're walking on eggshells because you think it will change them, then give it up. It's not going to work. If you're walking on eggshells to avoid their rage, I get it. But if you think they'll notice it and feel bad, that's never going to happen. You walking on eggshells isn't something where they spring up and say, oh, oops, I don't want anyone walking on eggshells for me. They like the idea that all of us are just extensions of them and living to please and convenience them. And that is a grim reminder that walking on eggshells, trying to get it perfect and right, that it's never going to win them over. It's just going to set a precedent that this tense, nervous, anxious, eggshell walking tightrope is how it's always going to be. If someone else ever pointed it out, could it bring up shame in them? I think only if they got in trouble for it. We have heard of some workplace cases where people will say, this is an incredibly abusive workplace, but even then, they don't really cop to it. They're just deeply inconvenienced and feel like the whole thing's a witch hunt and they're being victimized. Thanks again.